topic was on should computers replace teachers, and I am arguing for the affirmative. So I do believe that computers should replace teachers. So internet and technology is cutting edge. We are seeing so many advances with how much we can obtain with our fingertips. There's always a new iPhone, iPad, Mac, and research has been bigger than before, as we've seen in GMOs, both in food products and humans themselves. We have the capacity to do greater things, so why can't we just move forward and replace our teachers with computers? Number one, this offers districts a lower cost way to provide knowledge to underfunded classrooms. So the salary that could be used for a teacher could be used for these appliances, and teachers are already underpaid anyway, so why not put that money to good use? And so some schools already provide students with iPads and must return them after the year, so it's school property. So it doesn't mean that these children are going to be stuck to technology all the time. Two, teachers are even implementing it today, half physical and half online. They point to success. This is pointed to a success of blended learning models and flipped classrooms that offer students the ability to learn the basics and return to community of classroom to practice and refine their skills. So not only will they be learning online, but if they had any questions, they'd refer to a physical teacher. And according to the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, there seems to be a reason to believe that this model works. So, quoting non-scientific surveys, they found that 453 teachers who flipped their classrooms saw a 67% increase in student test scores, particularly advanced and special needs to students. Three, students are able to go at their own pace, so it provides a balance of school and work and stuff like that. So oftentimes people need more times, and sometimes the teacher goes too fast, and especially if you're in a college environment, if the teacher's going too fast, it's always nice to have resources available to them as well online. So I believe that we should move forward as a society. We can't always fit into the same structure. There has been so many advances, and everybody is seeing it too. Teachers are, as you know, are splitting their classrooms into 2 lessons. Why not just have one that's less confusing? So sometimes there's a difficulty in retaining information as well, so students opt for the internet for answers or just another lesson. There are a lot of good things that outweigh the bad, and that's why I think that computers should replace teachers.
Thank you, Savannah. That was great. My name's Star. I am debating the negative. So I don't think that computers should replace teachers. And first of all, computers are essential, you know, that for the 21st century skills. They play a great role in the classroom as a trusted tool and resource. Technology is constantly and the way we learn. However, technology in the classroom should be an addition, not a replacement for teachers. And then two, many teachers have a position that impacts the kids. This is why we can't replace teachers. We need constant human interactions, such as a baby, he needs to learn from a parent having that interaction. Are you going to put a computer in front of a kid and expect it to learn? They have a personable skill that a computer cannot do and teach. We need both technology and teachers. We cannot replace an efficient teacher with a computer. Teachers touch lives in ways that are immeasurable. Teachers make students laugh, encourage academic passion, they're mentors, and for some, they are a great support system. Ultimately, teachers are the eyes that keep the kids safe and ears that listen to their stories. Computers cannot answer all students' questions. Some students are visual learners as well as audio. A computer would not be fit for that. And then I have 3. Computers are faulty. They need electricity to run on. As for humans, we just need food. Teachers show human emotion. They empathize, something a computer cannot. Also, Yeah, people need that face-to-face interaction. That's why I don't think that they would be a good replacement. I mean, even in this class, how many technical issues did we have trying to get on a stream? So I think that having a computer, there's always going to be those issues, and having a teacher you can actually ask questions and find out the answer. And then a lot of students and kids have different learning types and there's disabilities. Teachers also like do more than just teach. They actually they look for abuse, disabilities, or anything else that that a computer can't do. So I think that's why that teachers cannot be replaced by computers. And then I think to conclude, I have a good quote from Aristotle, and it's a man by nature is a social animal. So with that said, is that kids need to interact, they need to be social with teachers, and teachers need to teach them to do that, as well as with their classmates, or if not, they're going to be introverts. And also, teachers are more, they teach kids morals, manners, values, and they really impact their students. Um, So as far as questions, um, so a computer doesn't have a degree, and it doesn't have a teaching degree. So how does that make it capable of teaching? I know that it has all the answers, but it doesn't have a degree. So how does that make it capable of teaching students?
I guess it's the internet. So the search engine would be compiling all the research that's been done by other people and putting it together and then offering it in a server to teach students. So
Okay.
that's how it would go about it.
And then what would happen to all the teachers that would be replaced by these computers? What would happen to their jobs and, all the the teachers that we have, all the professors, like what's going to happen to them? They have families to feed, that's their profession. That's what they went years of school to study, and, how what's going to happen to them? How is computer going to, how are they going to be reimbursed for all the time and effort they put into and dedication they put into the students?
I mean, they could always be tutors. I mean, if that kid needs additional help, just like when a kid goes into a physical class and they're not getting the attention that they need, and the teacher goes further into the course and this kid loses his momentum, they usually resort to the internet. So likewise, if a kid isn't following through with stuff online, then they revert to a physical person. And then even then, teachers
Okay.
can even our schools can even still have physical teachers, and there could be also schools that are just solely computer based, I mean, we
Okay.
already see it now. There's online universities, and you could get a degree from that and you don't have to see anybody. So it's happening now.
It is happening now, but I feel that with like my own experience and having online classes, I feel like I get a better understanding when a teacher is actually presenting something I can learn. Like if like a math teacher, if they're teaching a problem and they're showing me how to do it, and they're working through that problem, and I feel that I learn more. And I think statistics are that students do learn more being hands on and face to face. And as students, they go online and stuff to get information, but how is that? I mean, we're already doing those things, so why would they be? Sorry, let me rephrase that. So we're already doing great things with computers. It's already being done, but um, okay. Well, I don't know. That's as many questions I have.
So I guess my questions are for you. You said that
Okay.
teachers can teach morals and stuff like that, but shouldn't, and Yeah, so basically you said that teachers can teach morals and such like that, but I've always heard the phrase that, you that children often learn that from their parents and stuff like that. So, I mean, not necessarily like how do teachers teach morals?
Well, of course, there's not great parents. Like, not all parents are great, and not all
Mhm.
parents have morals. So I think when becoming a teacher, you have to fit a certain ethical criteria because you're working with kids. So you're professional. You're going to school, you're studying how to deal with kids with certain learning disabilities or other things, but you have this moral compass that you have to deliver as well. So you cannot be judgy. You have to be non-biased. You're a teacher, you're a mentor, people look up to you. So that's just something that computers don't have. They don't understand that. I mean, of course they don't see any bias, but I mean, they're not, if a child comes from a home that is not teaching that child how to be a good citizen in the future, how is that child going to learn? Like, of course, it's going to learn from other people they look up to. So that's why I think teachers shouldn't be replaced.
Okay, since you brought the ethical things and how teachers can't be biased, it mostly has to do with like a court of law, like the certain districts can't, or not even certain districts, it's like mandated that educational instructors can't teach about religion and stuff like that because it serves as a bias. So if it so let's say that we switch it to computers, wouldn't that be more beneficial? The computer, you can't really blame computers for being biased. They're just spewing out the information that's already on the internet. So in a sense,
Mm.
things can be things can there's more leeway when it comes to a computer teaching certain things when it comes to, like, let's say in history, when it's talking about like manifest destiny and how uh, people believe that God was bringing them to the way of the U.S. and stuff like that. So wouldn't that be beneficial that computers are allowed to be biased, and that way that students get a more universal outlook into the world?
I think that is a good idea, but I think it could be more harmful than beneficial just due to how much resources they have on the computer. So say for instance, like a kid is like, oh, let me see what cult I want to join, or, whatever. They're open to it because it's accessible to them. And they're going to think it's okay because who's going to tell them, oh, no, it's not. So I think, the computer's not going to say like, oh, you shouldn't be looking at that, or how much monitoring are they going to really get when teachers usually like do all the discipline in class? Like, that's how they show their known morals. Like, if you obviously, if you do something wrong, you cuss at the teacher, or you do something wrong, you're going to get detention, you're going to get suspended or in trouble. And so that's how they learn, okay, I shouldn't act like that because there's consequences to that. And so when opening up a computer and the internet and having like social media and all that, I think that it can be more harmful because there's so much that goes with that. I mean, people are just digging so deep. And then, having that access to the internet, it's just like, I think that it would give people more anxiety because there's a certain way you have to look with social media, or like even looking at all the bad news in the world. And it's just like, what can you really do about it? And I think that having all that open to a child at such a young age will be just more harmful than good.
So just to be fair, you gave me two questions, so I only gave you two questions. So
Okay, so
there you
should I give
go.
it the other one?
No, it's
Or is
okay.
that it?
I think we did pretty good. No.
I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Good job, Savannah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
so
job.
thank you. I'll end this broadcast, and
Hmm.
then I will submit you a copy
Okay.
and
All
see you in
right.
class.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.